We use seasonal index numbers to seasonalize data or create forecasts for a specific season. Creating a forecast for a specific season is exactly the task that's required for this particular problem. All right, the marketing department has forecast that 10,000 units of some item 778 will be ordered in the next fiscal year. I want to point something out before we go any further. That is an annual forecast. I'm just writing a note here to self. Okay, so they have a forecast for the entire year. Based on the marketing department's forecast and noting that the seasonal relative, the seasonal index number associated with the second fiscal quarter is 1.25, how many units of item 778 will be ordered in the second fiscal quarter? So this problem wants us to forecast the second quarter, second fiscal quarter. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Well, how are we going to do that? Notice that we have an annual forecast because this is a very typical pattern. We have an annual forecast, but we just want a forecast for one of the seasons, in this case, one of the quarters. Well, the first step is, it's logic. We have a forecast that 10,000 will be ordered over the course of the year. That's the annual forecast. I ask myself, how many seasons are there in this year? Well, if we're talking about quarters, this is a case where there's 4 seasons, right? 4 quarters. All right, so I divide 4 into 10,000, and I get this number. I get 2,500. That is known as a deseasonalized forecast. And you say, why? Because the fact that the second fiscal quarter had a seasonal relative, it was 1.25, implies that orders fluctuate between the quarters. As a matter of fact, in the second fiscal quarter, apparently that's a busy time for orders because the seasonal relative is greater than 1. It's 1.25. But anyway, it didn't ask about that. Okay, now this 2,500, what it's doing is it's taking the overall annual amount and it's spreading it out evenly between the quarters. I mean, you just divide it by 4, and yet we know that orders don't work that way for this firm. They must be busier in some quarters, like the second quarter, and not as busy in others. Oh, all right, so to finish out this forecast to reflect the fact that basically it's a busier time for orders in the second quarter than in some other quarters, what do? We take the deseasonalized number, right, the simple result of just dividing, and we multiply by the seasonal relative. So take that 2,500 and say multiplied by the 1.25. It's basically a tool for adding the season, right? Okay, 2,500 times 1.25, I get 3,125. That's our answer. That is our forecast specifically for the second quarter of that year.